Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what's being rumored right now is nothing short of seismic for the AFC North. And let's be honest, for the entire league. Word around the NFL circles, thanks to insiders like Diana Rossini, is that the Minnesota Vikings, currently sitting at a disappointing 4-6 and clearly in rebuild mode, are contemplating a blockbuster trade that could reshape the division landscape. And the target, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, that's right. The star wide receiver who's been lighting up the league since he burst onto the scene. The speculation is that the Vikings might be willing to part ways with Jefferson in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a fourth-round pick in 2027. This kind of move, if it happens, could be one of the most talked-about trades of the offseason, especially considering the impact it could have on the Steelers, who are aiming for a deeper playoff run this year. Imagine the Steelers acquiring Jefferson, an absolute game-changer. With his ability to stretch defenses, make impossible catches, and be a true deep threat, he instantly elevates Pittsburgh's offense to a whole new level. Right now, the Steelers are sitting at 6-4, and adding a receiver of Jefferson's caliber would be like turbo-boosting their entire attack. It's easy to see how this could turn the Steelers into a legitimate Super Bowl contender, especially with the offensive line and quarterback Kenny Pickett now having a true WR1 to lean on. Jefferson's talent is undeniable. He's a magician in the open field, with 56 catches for 747 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 10 games so far this season, averaging nearly 75 yards per game. His yards after catch, YAC, is impressive at 5.1 yards per reception, and he's rated highly by PFF at 92.5. His EPA per target is plus 0.42, meaning he consistently creates value every time he's targeted. In his career, Jefferson has accumulated over 800 receiving yards and 38 touchdowns, with a solid catch rate of 93 targets at 13.3 yards on average per reception, and a remarkably low drop rate of just 1.8%. His injury in Week 5, a hip issue, limited his production, but he returned in Week 7 to post over 112 yards, showing he's fully capable of being a dominant force. Jefferson's speed, clocked at 4:43 seconds in the 40-yard dash, along with his reliable hands and route running, makes him nearly uncontainable. He separates from defenders at an average of 2.4 yards per route, and last season he racked up 10 or more big plays, exceeding his career average of about 10 per year. That's the kind of playmaker every team dreams of, and it's exactly what the Steelers need to push their offense to an elite level. Now, let's talk about the Vikings. They're in a tight spot financially. They need to clear cap space, with roughly $10 million freed up if they trade Jefferson. The team is also in rebuild mode following a 4-6 start, and their defense has been leaking points, giving up an average of 23.2 points per game. Losing Jefferson in this situation might seem counterintuitive, but with the cap hit and the need to focus on building for the future, it makes sense. The Vikings are also trying to secure extensions for key players like Darisaw, and they're trying to stay afloat amid a season that's been less than ideal. Their offense, averaging just 21.8 points per game, has struggled to generate consistent explosive plays without Jefferson's presence. His absence is felt deeply. His EPA per pass drops by 18%, and the offense's overall effectiveness diminishes significantly. The division-leading Bengals, for example, are giving up an average of 33.4 points per game, showing how vital explosive receivers like Jefferson could be in playoff matchups. For the Steelers, this potential trade isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about transforming the entire dynamic of their offense. With Jefferson lining up alongside George Pickens and the emerging Allen Robinson, Kenny Pickett would have weapons galore. The projected yardage for Jefferson in 2026, if he stays healthy and continues on his current trajectory, could reach around 300 yards, an incredible boost for any offense. Plus, the analytics point to a plus 18% increase in EPA per pass with Wilson at quarterback, compared to the current core, which averages only 20 yards per route. That's a massive upgrade, and it could be the difference maker in tight games, especially late in the season and playoffs. The Steelers' defense, giving up roughly 2 points per game, benefits from longer possessions and more scoring opportunities, which Jefferson's big play ability would facilitate. Even with injuries, like the knee issue that sidelined Elliott, the Steelers' roster would be primed for a run, with the offense becoming a true powerhouse, reminiscent of the Rams after their Cup extension. And let's not forget the betting odds. The Super Bowl odds for the Steelers would see a meteoric rise, an increase of plus 2,000 to plus 900, making them one of the favorites if this move materializes. Jefferson's presence in the playoffs is seen as a game changer, a true X-factor that could turn the tide against divisional rivals like the Bengals, who have been struggling defensively but remain dangerous. This trade would give the Steelers a real shot at not only making the playoffs, but making noise once they get there. It's the kind of move that shifts the power balance in the AFC North, putting the Steelers right at the top of the contenders list. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this hypothetical trade could mark the beginning of a golden era for the Steelers. Jefferson, as a true franchise receiver, could be the catalyst for a sustained period of excellence. The Vikings, on the other hand, might be entering a rebuild, focused on building their future with younger players and draft capital. This kind of strategic shift isn't new in the NFL, but when it involves a star of Jefferson's caliber, it's guaranteed to shake things up. The Steelers, historically known for their strong defense and resilient offense, could become a balanced juggernaut, with Jefferson acting as the centerpiece of their offensive renaissance. This move could also serve as a blueprint for other teams looking to shake things up ahead of the trade deadline or in the offseason. The NFL is all about leveraging talent and cap space, and if the Steelers can pull this off, it would send a loud message to the entire league. They're not just content with being playoff contenders. They want to be Super Bowl champions, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Imagine the fireworks on game day with Jefferson running routes, making catches that leave defenses scratching their heads, and Pittsburgh fans celebrating another chapter in their storied history of excellence. In the end, whether this trade happens or not, the whispers alone are enough to excite Steelers Nation. It's a reminder that the NFL is unpredictable and that big moves can happen at any moment, shifting the entire landscape of the league and making every game even more thrilling. The potential of adding a player like Justin Jefferson to the Steelers' roster isn't just about winning games. It's about rewriting the narrative of this franchise, pushing them to new heights, and giving fans hope that a Super Bowl parade could be on the horizon. This is what makes football so great: the thrill of possibility, the anticipation of greatness, and the relentless passion of the Steelers faithful. Stay tuned, because if this trade materializes, it'll be one of the most exciting stories in recent NFL history, and Pittsburgh's journey to another Super Bowl could be taking a giant leap forward. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Jefferson would be the perfect piece to finally get Pittsburgh back to the Super Bowl? Or do you believe this kind of trade might come with risks we're not seeing? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion truly matters to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this is a community built on passion, and your voice is what keeps the fire burning. I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and hopefully some confirmation that this trade is on its way. So stay tuned, keep cheering, and as always, let's go Steelers.